Good morning, folks. A very good morning to each and every one of you, and welcome to FYI. We trust that you guys are great. We trust that you guys are well. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, share the live as you come on. Smash that emoji button for us, good folks, and partner with us as well. And those of you, the technicians who are on duty, do let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. Do let us know, good folks, if you're hearing us loud and clear. That's going to do us the world of good. Good to see Trevon McDonald. Beatrice Selby is here as well. Good to have you, Beatrice, and Debbie Collins. Good to see Debs. And I see quite a few other folks joining us this morning. Good to have each and every one of you good folks on the live. We're going to ensure that we share to all the right places as well. What are you all having for breakfast this morning, folks? How was the morning after the night before? How did you rest? We hope that you guys are fine. We hope that you guys are well. It's the 22nd day of June already. We're coming down, folks. We're coming down to that particular, the finishing line. The finishing line in June. We're coming down, good folks. I'm celebrating a birthday at the end of June. 44 at the end of June, good folks. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. The 30th. The 30th. What day is it, 30th? Is it a week a day? Some folks are wondering, say, is it a week a day? I haven't even checked this yet. Let me see. Oh, it's a Friday. It's a Friday, good folks. It's a Friday. The 30th. It's a Friday. Looking forward to it. And folks, we are just happy. Wherever you guys are joining us from, we're delighted that you guys are here with us. Simply delighted. It's a Friday. Do I take the day off? Do I? Decisions to be made. Decisions. Cheryl, good to see you, Cheryl Mulray, Investor Hardy, Raj Kumar. And folks, we've been saying, we can have 2 fundraising days in this month. Deliberately set aside 2 days. We are fundraising on these days just to keep the effort moving forward. I don't think we labor on it enough. We labor on it, but I don't think we labor on it nearly enough. And that's one of the things we need to do this month, especially. We want to come out of the red into the blue. I'm good to have all you guys there, folks. Wherever you're waking up this morning, whichever part of the globe, you know we're scattered people. We're scattered people in the Jacobs or in Dawn. We are a scattered people. Scattered. Gilali Cock joining us all the way from NJ. Good to have you, Gail and Erwin Dunn and all the other folks, Lilith, all the other folks joining us. We're happy that you folks are here. We hope that you guys are well. Wherever you're joining us from, rock and come in. Good to see you folks. Good to have you out here with us this morning, starting the day with you guys. Edward Brooms, good to see you as well. Am I going down? Yeah, that looks better. Victoria, good to have you, Victoria. Victoria Singh. Tessa Griffith is here as well. Good to see you, Tessa. Littell Preck, good to have you. Good to have you, Edward Brooms and Gladstone Matthews. Good to have each and every one of you guys on the live. Over 300 of you have already joined us. We're so happy that you guys have chosen to join a humble program this morning. How y'all doing? How y'all doing this morning, folks? Good to have you guys here on the live. Good to have you all on the live. Quite a few things we have to discuss with you guys this morning. I hope we get through all of it. Covering some stuff happening internationally, regionally, locally as well. And of course, we got to talk about what's been dominating the news, folks. The Daral rape scandal. We're going to be talking about that too. Good to see each and every one of you here with us, folks. Wherever you're joining us from this morning. It's such a privilege. Starting the day with you good folks. So good morning. What's in the morning papers at your end? Paula Hicks, Gladstone. What's in the papers? Winella Garnett. What's in the paper? I met Winella recently. I was pleasantly surprised. Winella, good morning. All the folks who've been so kind to us. Good morning. To the Chisholms in Sophia. Good morning to you, wonderful, beautiful folks. Good morning to you guys. The Chisholms there in Sophia, probably listening to us even now. Folks, thank you for being so gracious. The 400 plus of you who've joined our broadcast thus far, thank you for being so gracious. John Barnes, Baines, good to have you. Baines, good to have you. And that's so why Jean is here as well. Good to have you folks on the live. How's the morning started at your end, guys? I was the morning side of the year, and I had some. I find as I get older, the milk I'm not taking so much. Right? It's some plain tea. I like plain coffee now. Plain tea bags, a little sugar, but not too much. That's what I find. As one gets older, right? Keybert, Hope, am I calling it right? Keybert, or it's Keybert? Hope, good to have you. Claire Capel is on the live. Natasha Glenn is watching us from Connecticut. Folks, Connecticut is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's like autumn in New York. In the fall, Connecticut is so beautiful. In the autumn, beautiful. I love it. Natasha, I wish I was close to where you are. I wish I was close to where you are. I wish. Kevin Pierce, Gloria Chester, good to see you. Good to see you. Gail Alicock. Gail is in New Jersey. Nice as well. Good to have you. Annalisa, lovely queen. So subjective. Annalisa, Odessa Wardine said, I finished sharing. You are a little like Odessa, no? Odessa Wardine said, I have finished sharing. Isabella Butters, Isabella, thanks for the thing. Folks, Isabella was home recently. All right? Isabella, I don't know if I should talk the whole story. Should I? Isabella helped us out generously. Not only talking the talk, walking the walk, and she's going to help us to push our program forward a little further. Thank you so much, Isabella. Thank you. I regret time did not allow us to meet. I was in Linden and Kokwani and Madhya while she was visiting. She left me 2 lovely books, and she left us a contribution as well to our program. Thank you so much, Isabella. Thanks for the thing. Right? She bought me Prince Harry's spear. Let's show off a little bit, man. Shucks. I vex now. Let me show off a little bit now. Right? I'm so grateful. We're thankful for folks like this. They understand us, and they're happy to see us keep going. Happy to keep us going. Happy to keep us going. As I was saying, folks, before I rudely interrupted myself. So thank you so much. Folks, y'all say thanks to Isabella for us. She's going to help us to keep going for a little bit. Folks, I can't belabor the point enough. That it takes something, for us to keep going. And you have some very gracious folks. So Isabella brought me, is it Nelson DeMille? This fantastic book here. The Cuban Affair. Politics through and through. The Cuban Affair. Isabella brought us this. And forgive us if the color looks different. She brought us this. So I'm looking forward to starting this as summer starts in this end. Looking forward to starting. So she brought us this, and look, eat your heart out. She brought me this as well. This is Prince Harry's spear. Yeah. Sometimes you need a spear. So thank you, Isabella. Isabella was so kind, and we've added that to our reading list. She's been so kind. Thank you so much. Tommy Gibbs and all the other folks joining us. Folks, I was holding for some of y'all. And I want to make the point as well that this is how we keep going when folks contribute to our program. I'd be happy to say we don't depend on, the folks who are going to tell you what to say and what to do and who you should talk to and cover and so on. We depend on you, the folks, to keep our program going. And we're at that half year mark, that half year point. We're looking back and see how much we've done for the year, where we can tweak things. You all sit down and look back and say, this is how I started the year. I had these plans and so on. How is it going for you? But that's what we're in the process of asking ourselves. How is it going for us? And how we could make some small tweaks to give you guys more. Right? And you guys can help us as well. I said before and I say it again, unashamedly. The happy birthdays are nice. But it's even nice if we can stay on air and keep bringing you guys credible, valid information. And if you enjoyed our program like last night, for instance, we encourage you guys to come on board and they go all these ways, all these platforms, just for your convenience. come on board and help us to keep moving forward. We're so grateful. Folks, we are so thankful as well. But you didn't come to hear us talk about this alone. Let's get to some what we're covering in the morning papers, good folks. Some what we covered in the morning papers. Good to have you, Beatrice, and all the other folks. Y'all say a special thank you to Isabella Butters for us. Please, please, please say a special thank you. Isabella, the Chisholms of Sophia as well, and all the other folks who are so gracious to us. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Lynn Fernandez, thanks for the thing. Lynn was home recently too. You all know we laid to rest Lena Williams, who we lost, and they were best friends, very good friends. And Lynn was home to ensure that Lena gets a good send-off. And Lena was one of the staples. Once you see Lynn, you see Lena. And Lynn made sure she came home and touched base with us. And she's going to help us to keep moving forward as well. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Lynn. Hope you're back safe and sound. Going to be at your end a little later on, a couple of weeks, I think. Looking forward to that. Yep, so much for that, folks. Some of the things we're covering in the morning papers. And you all know we'll be there. You all know we'll be there. It's never a dull moment. You gotta love living in Guyana for that simple reason. There's never a dull moment. Simply never a dull moment. We love it. Wouldn't trade Guyana for the world. Maybe for New York. Not for most other places. Some other exotic places, maybe. But you gotta love Guyana. Never a dull moment. Never. There are so many other things we want to touch on, but this issue has captivated this country, roused the soul of the nation. Quoted Martin Luther King again. This particular issue. We're still covering it. Those of you who might be new to it, 16-year-old is making some very damning allegations that sitting minister of local government and regional development, Nigel Daral, savagely, brutally raped and sodomized her. Yep. So that is the investigation that has ensued and that we are following. And we were down there yesterday at Chalabar, that's the name of the place. At Chalabar, that's the government compound in Sobrianville, Camberville area. And there is where she alleges that he took her, put her brother to watch television, and again, allegedly raped and sodomized her, 16-year-old, and wrote with such clarity on that issue. And this one has really gone across party lines, religious convictions. I didn't see anything out of the CIOG yet. Mr. Hack, haven't seen anything out of them as yet. But it's really cut across religious lines, political persuasion. People are tremendously incensed. Tremendously incensed. And it's not the first, second, third, fourth time that the minister has had such allegation leveled against him. And we're in the throes of the investigations where this is concerned. One of the things that I am taken aback by is that this is a government compound. Could you imagine you got high officials living in this compound, a Chalabar, and a young lady is there being raped? And what we learned last night through the attorney representing the young lady's family, one of the attorneys, Kemra Trampitan, who's also the Alliance for Change leader, is that when she was taken back to that place day before yesterday, on Tuesday, there he was. And then the room had been repainted and furniture removed and all of that. No. I'm certain this kind of information is not alien to Barajagdio. It is not alien to Irfan Ali, but yet they're holding on. They're holding on because they understand that politically, to dismiss Daral, is a block against their administration. And they must have seen the signs, and that's one of the things we were talking about this morning. Because in this story here, a lot of other things coming out of the closet, and a lot of other things coming out of the woodwork. That they got a lot of predators in the PPP. And I've said this once, we've said it twice, we'll say it 1,000 times. It's a study in sociology, human anthropology, and a host of other disciplines. Why is it that you have a certain kind of character that is always attracted to the PPP, welcomed in the PPP, groomed by the PPP? A certain kind of character. Because Daral is not the only high official of the PPP who has had such allegations laid at his feet. You wouldn't find such a cluster of characters in no other political party in the region, and I would dare say perhaps internationally. You wouldn't find such a cluster of people who have had some serious allegations, laid before them. Whether you're talking about pedophiles, rapists, men who beat up on women, corrupt, you name it, all of them seem to find a cushy, comfortable home in the PPP. In the PPP. And I saw a letter, and we can talk about that later on in this morning's paper, that says if Jack Dio treated his wife and a woman the way in which he had treated Vashni Jack Dio, then they understand why this kind of thing is happening. So a lot of miscreants find a home in the PPP, and for the most part, we turn a blind eye to it. Right now, some of you gonna be turning a blind eye. I didn't see half of y'all, the section of those who in the diaspora, on the picket line. Right? You're like the PPP, you're protecting your own hide. You don't got a bit of jagabatical behavior in you. But I was happy for the folks who came out, who I said, never saw before on the picket line. But you guys come out, lending your voice to the struggle, right? Which says that right is right and wrong is wrong. It's as simple as that. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And that is all that it's been about. It's not about winning an election. The way in which I saw Mr. Jagdio come out recently and try to want to steer back the conversation. Right? Because apparently, if, as he claimed, they have been victorious, he is not getting the kind of victory lap that he wants. See, he's run out now twice for the week. Trying to reset the agenda. I tell folks all the time, as a believer, as a Christian, in this business of politics, too many people is factor out God. Too many people, man is a point and God is disappointed. Too many people. So I see your boy Jagdio come out and he's struggling right? He's struggling. He wants to talk about everything else, but everything else under the sun, he wants to talk about, but this issue. All right? But this issue. So he comes out and he says that Minister Daral is going to face the consequences if found guilty. Remember, he's a court by himself too, eh? Jack Joe is a court by himself. He's weighed the facts and so on and said, this man is guilty. So really and truly, in his own estimation, he's talking about it. If I find him guilty, then he can face the consequences. You're not going to tell him what those consequences might be. Right? So, if he is found guilty, and they got 5 more accusations, credible, you tell me we got to live with a character like Daral? But this is the society we have. Folks, you know, my memory came back to me. And I remembered when Daral told one of our parliamentary colleagues, you need a dildo. And I objected. I was suspended. And close to a year, haven't received a cent in salary from the National Assembly. I was suspended because I objected. And the highest legislative body in this country, right, decided we can defend Daral, right? And they said he apologized. So that makes it all good and well. Makes it all good and well. Somebody could come and they could cuss out black people, cuss out Indian people, and if you apologize, you're good in this country. And look like that's the road we're going down with rape and so on. You could rape out people and so on. And if you apologize and if you appear contrite, you kiss a baby or two and appear in some photographs with women, you're good to go. So Jagdeo run out to say that if I find him guilty, he go face the consequences. Satan can cast out Satan, you know. Satan can cast out Satan. So that's just one of the things that's part of this discussion here. And then the police force this morning is saying that standard procedures have been followed in this investigation. Standard procedures. You mean taking the victim by the house and the man is right there? The alleged perpetrator is right there? Is that part of the SOP? When Sheboran said that he didn't read what was being circulated and so on. And if he had done so then and knew that this young woman was making this strong allegation, then a certain protocol would have ensued. Really? Really? As Amanda said last evening in our broadcast, how we get this work? How we get this work? Folks said Sheboran was a presidential guard, and then he went over to the police. How we get this work? How we got it? And then in another bizarre SOP, that's what they're calling it. Legal counsel for the victim. Why is that being denied? Why is that being denied in a country where trust is so low? Political trust, social trust is so low. Why would you deny legal counsel to the alleged victim and her brother? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? So those are some of the issues for contention. But there's a lot of predators. being housed and comforted by the PPP. It's a lot of predators. A lot of them. And that's what we saw in one letter to the editor this morning. One Leland Roop the Rhine. He says the PPP know that the minister is not the only suspected predator in this camp net, in the cabinet. Leland Roop the Rhine. He said, they know he's not the only one. If you all know, couple put a name in the comment section. There are others, but Hancho, Bancho, Tutsi Wutsi, the Hancho and the de facto president continue to cover up. The de facto president, BJ, continues to cover up for them. He believes that he and his ministers are above the law. It will be up to us to cut them down. He believes they are above the law and that God has ordained and anointed them to rule in any way they wish and share the country's resources with a certain ethnic group. That is what Leland Roop the Rhine said in this morning's Stabrook News. They got other predators. They got other predators. And I know you folks know them. As I said, you've had in the past some serious allegations raised against a lot of the membership. We lived through Kwame and Julius. We lived through that. We lived through that. We lived through that. We heard a high-ranking member of the government, wasn't the AG voice on tape, allegedly soliciting somebody for some uncle? Wasn't it? In that Cancho News scandal? We lived through that. One political party. One political party. And they keep dragging this great country of ours into the decadence and decay. Into the decadence and decay. You know? That is why what Elder Lawrence Haywood said Monday on the protest line, I don't know if it resonated with you, but it resonated with me. This is not the kind of country we want to be building. It is not the kind of country we want to be building. So I agree with Leland Roop the Rhine in his letter in today's Stabrook News and other daily papers, that they got other predators in there as well. And you know, these are some of the best kept secrets in this country. They're out in public. We all know how they operate. We all know it. That's why when you see some of them in photographs, they're in church holding a Bible so tight, photograph with little boys and little girls, you cringe. You cringe. Other predators in the PPP. Serious allegations have been laid before them. Right? But the PPP has a strategy. They wait you out. Let me see how long they can protest. Right? Let me see how long they can stay on this. And that's why you see the circling the wagon right now, you know. Circling the wagon on these issues. Circling the wagon. So again, I said this whole issue here struck a nerve in the psyche of Guyanese. Met Elder Haywood rather, on the protest line. I've known him for a long time, all my life, all my Christian life. That's a long time, about 20 plus years. Never heard him voice a comment you could deem political. Deeply and devout religious man. If X and Clark wants a man of integrity and deeply religious, this is the fella. A husband and a father and a brother. And when he says he's incensed and upset by this, I read that and said, this is something across the divides in this country. And this is what he said to me the other day in the protest. I think it was Monday. Take a look and take a listen.
Sheriff, this is the day after Father's Day. And I'm reminded of the fact that God, our Father, has shown a tremendous interest and identification with the alien, the stranger, the dispossessed, the widow, the orphan. In short, the vulnerable mean a lot to God. And in our country, no grouping seems as vulnerable as our original people, our indigenous brothers and sisters. Whether it's the Madhya fire that highlights and brings to the fore in frightening circumstances the treatment of our indigenous people in the dorms and the arrangements made for children in those settings. The investigations done, recommendations made, not complied with, not adhered to. And then we cry as a nation, we hold our heads seemingly in grief when 20 children die. But you could call that an accident, if you will. You could call it an act of nature. But this is a human catastrophe. This is something caused by somebody who, instead of seeing leadership as a privilege, with an opportunity to serve, would see it as an opportunity to destroy, to use, to mobilize support. Because as I read in the press, the way in which his approach was facilitated, was arranged through beauty pageants or whatever else, tells me that this is not an act of passion. This is not somebody out of control because for some reason they were perhaps using some substance that they could say, oh, I couldn't help myself for the time. This is somebody with a track record of this kind of evil. And don't let's call it anything else. It is wicked. It is evil. And it's not just a case of rape compounded with sodomy. It's the continuous abuse, as if he could sin with immunity and impunity, as if he and those he serves have suddenly become God in the earth. God is not amused. Right-thinking Guyanese are not fooled. I believe that our president has a conscience. I believe that coming from a religion, as with Christianity and Judaism, Muhammad, the religion of Islam, has a very sound moral code. I'm looking to the president not just to dismiss this rascal, not just to accede his request to go on leave as if he's doing a gentlemanly thing, but to show in every way possible that he will not allow our children to be abused, our daughters to be violated. God says in the last book of Proverbs, a mother's training her son for reigning. You heard right. Training for reigning. She urges him to stay close to God's law, not just in letter, but in spirit and heart and in attitude and action. And then she became specific and she said, speak up for those who have no voice to speak for themselves. In other words, those without a voice, without a vote, without influence, without seeming impact, vulnerable. You be the person standing up for them. Rescue those being led away to death, we read in that same book in chapter 24. Hold back those staggering towards slaughter. If you say, as we Guyanese tend to do, we didn't know. How could we have found out? You have the evidence. God says he's not amused. He's not fooled, and will hold those who are complicit with their silence, with their habit of turning the other way, of sweeping under the carpet. God says it wouldn't work. I'm calling on our president, particularly in light of his being blessed with a child on Father's Day, to show that he has a heart, that he will not be used by those around him who might be saying, but others around us are being protected too. Stand, sir. Show yourself a father, a man, and a leader, and distance yourself as a shepherd from wolves, from predators, from those who have no regard for anything except their libidinous urges, their tendency to depravity, which we had an inkling of in Parliament, but we won't go there. Thank you very much.
I don't know if we can have too many disagreements there. I don't know if we can have too many disagreements. Show yourself a father, a leader, and a man, and let's do the honorable thing, Mr. President. The honorable thing. I got up this morning. I know in the evening it's fast paced and we don't get the time to drill down. But at Chalabar, where the ministers and high official government get housing at the pleasure of the state, those houses are so close together. And you've got to understand the kind of gumption and presumption, right? The presumptuousness that you could lure somebody there in that place and commit that heinous, horrendous act that is alleged of rape and sodomy. I like what Elder Haywood said. There's such deliberation in the action. You send a plane ticket and taxpayers' money and how did it work? A taxi and a driver and all of that. Plotting and planning, the mechanicians. Folks, yesterday on that picket line, we spoke with a man who was in Desir, and we also spoke with Foreign Minister Simone Brooms, Member of Parliament, a man who was in Desir, is the Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, about the same issue of Chalabar and them taking the victim there and Daral being present. Police said they've operated professionally. A lot of Guyanese don't believe that. A lot of Guyanese don't believe that. A lot of Guyanese don't believe that. So here is Foreign Minister Simone Brooms and Member of Parliament, Manzo was in his ear, examining this whole issue of Chalabar and what took place there and this foolishness. Absolute foolishness. Take a look, folks, and take a listen. Folks, we are here at Chalabar, and this is a compound where senior government officials reside, and it is here behind us, we're told, the gruesome acts that are alleged of rape and sodomy were perpetuated on the 16-year-old complainant.
I believe with this matter, this is a very serious matter because one, the person that the allegation is leveled against is one in authority. It's a minister of government who is taking the state resources to groom young girls, to lure them from different communities and regions into Georgetown, into a government compound, a gated area. So they're at his mercies in Chilabar. It's not even a place you could just run out, like you understand what I mean to say. And so I think that persons miss that. Also, in the statement from the young lady that we have seen, where she was calling, she said, listen, I don't want to die, Mr. President. You got to hear my voice and do something. Irfan Ali of himself, you know, a young man, just get in office as president is shameful. Irfan don't have a heart for women. And based on what I'm seeing here, there's a whole anti-women, some kind of organization that they call themselves sitting in office. I think it is shameful. And I mean, if I had any respect for Irfan, I've lost all. Not a drop for Irfan and his entire cabinet. You understand? Because nowhere I'm saying it again in the world. Even, well, we know Daral ain't got no shame. And Daral ain't got no pride. If anybody with pride and dignity, such allegations, come on. But at least one would expect that the president who gives him that instrument would have called that instrument, take it from Mandela and say, listen, said Daral, you're not fit for office, and take that instrument from me. I'm disappointed. Sherrod, if the people out here, 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, I'll be right here. I'll be right here. I encourage persons. This is a time. I mean, we got to stand up. Then it can happen at this level. You take state money. Give this girl for my ties. Share Christmas time. Calling her, lowering this girl, grooming, you call that? This is purposeful, and since you get her in the house, listen, turn on your TV downstairs based on the allegation and take her upstairs. And the girl wrote her entire story. And everybody know, Priya know, Pauline, Pauline exists by her own self. Pauline just saw the super debts and the little money and the little protection she and all getting. This is how Pauline studied. Pauline, I know she takes some more money and fix your teeth. Tootsie bootsy. You understand? It's total. Pauline studied nothing. Pauline studied all them little gamble shop she got all over this place. The people in Madrid talk about it. Pauline not interested. Listen to this one. Schumann is a waste of time. Schumann spent all this time in the parliament and do nothing for the indigenous people. And now with what is going on, Schumann silent. But Schumann never put him out in everything. Because Schumann was sitting down and asked, he said, anybody might make an allegation for me. You understand what I'm saying? It's a shameful, nasty place we live in. You understand? With the big stinking dirty Daral, got enough more stinking dirty more than Daral. I mean, no, me in the ring share, but listen to me, this thing by the look. You understand? We share the bell for ring it out here. So ring this bell finally, you understand? Listen, that you there, it's an opportunity to serve us. And if you're serving us, we can move you from there. Carbon this whole country, the whole country to condemn this. Daral got to go. Daral got to go. As of now, Daral is no minister. And not when Irfan says that. We must dictate that. Never call Daral honorable in this country. Never call him minister. We must dictate that. We gotta wait for Irfan. We gotta wait for Barjaga. Who we gotta wait for Dodo? It is ridiculous and it is shameful. And I believe that we must stand up. No government, no minister, no police officer, no commissioner, nobody must continue to groom, use the influence of power and to groom young girls. You understand what I mean? The age of trafficking is 18. How you load her and bring her for sexual exploitation. It is exploitation. The amendment in the 2023. Sherrod, check on page 6. Here we tell you about the age and they talk about why you the transporting of a person. That alone and more, which I'll speak to him next time. You understand? But right now, they're upon Daral. Daral must go along your way. Irfan is a shame. He's a disgrace. You understand? It's a pack of monsters. And we women, we ain't stopping. I don't care. Right in Georgetown today, when the women go to the police station, the gang raping people all over this place. They scare them in these big fancy houses by swimming pool. You understand? It's a stinking thing happening. So nobody want to talk. Everybody backpedaling. They can't take your foot pedal. I know I must tell you know what Vindy do? Vindy hand the button on. Vindy's mad. Oh, I get investigation. So I'm waiting now to see what happening at the level of the police. And if they will send some so-called file with a hoobly-doobly to some DPP and all them kind of wishy-washy behavior. Look, a 5-year-old was raped. Check and see how they're handling that matter with the allegation. This is the next allegation, you know. Why this one with Daral so special? They're condoning this act. They silence. We see it before our eyes. They're condoning it. There's a pack of them. So it's not damn lal. All of them dirty and they must leave people, your children alone.
I said in a post that I did yesterday on social media that this was my concern, that we would re-victimize the victim all over again. Why did Darmlad have to be there? Who determined that that was in the best interest of the child? And mind you, in cases involving minors, the investigation has to be conducted in a manner that it deals with what is in the best interest of the child. So why was Darmlad there? And why is she without legal counsel? Because I am advised that her family has been requesting legal counsel, but they're being told that there is a protocol involved. So as of 10 o'clock this morning, she had not had legal counsel. I am anticipating that that position will change in the next few hours because you cannot have a 16-year-old girl going up against a system of known cops who are not above perverting the course of justice. I mean, there's enough evidence in the public space to warrant the kind of suspicion with which people are treating the Guyana police force. So Darmlad should not have been there. What kind of psychological support and mental health support is this young lady receiving? And let me say this, those of us who sit in Parliament opposite Nigel Darmlad, we know how nasty and how rude he is. I can only imagine if when that young lady encountered him, he would be there smirking because that's the kind of person that he is. And to expose this child to that, to not have her have legal counsel throughout this process. As Guyanese, we have to be outraged, man. We have to be outraged. And so I'm waiting with bated breath to see. Because I am concerned that they're looking to find inconsistencies and to establish inconsistencies in her statement. I'm concerned that this is why the government seems to be buying time, because they probably want to rely on the police force to concoct some sort to say, oh, he was cleared. But the Guyanese people are watching. They are watching. And I don't think that we are prepared to allow this to go down the drain. This is nonsense. Darmlad has been accused of this once, twice, 3 times. And Irfan Ali is still content. Content to have him sit as a member of his cabinet, albeit he is on administrative leave. What are we allowing? What are we allowing? Yes, there is a presumption of innocence, but certainly the gravity of these allegations would dictate that you sit down, you no longer be minister until this is done. And once you are cleared, we will have you back. But to not even do that, look, it's exasperating. And I'm glad that the people of Guyana are coming out here. And I'm glad that it's across political parties because, you know, they want to say, oh, this is the opposition doing, this is about standing up for our girl children and our young boys. And no, I'm reading in the press that more girls are coming forward with more allegations against other ministers. So clearly, this is something that has to be exposed, and wherever it leads, it leads. Wherever it leads, it leads. Because this got to be stamped out now. Enough is enough.
Yep. There you have it, folks. There you have it. A lot of nonsense. A lot of foolishness. Irfan Ali must act in the best interest of this country, not Darmlad. Must act. Folks, we're quickly running out of time. Let us turn our attention to some of the other things we are tracking this morning. Let's turn our attention to that. Irfan Ali has to act. Gotta act. We're not asking nothing strange. And too many people complicit with their silence. Too many folks. Guys, share the live, smash that emoji, but we want others to get valid, credible information as well. Internationally, folks. Apparently we can get a cage fight between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, the billionaires. It's rich people problems. That's what we call it. Rich people problems. They make enough money, they can fight each other now. Physically, for what? for sport. For sport. Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and said, cage fight coming up. Cage fight. We engage that. Where is the Titanic? The submersible. Where is it? They said the folks in this submarine, quote unquote, they went to have a look at the Titanic wreckage. Like it's a tour operation of some sort. They went to have a look. They can't find the submarine now. 5 or 7 folks are on it. They can't find it. And they said they're running out of oxygen. They're running out of oxygen. They can't find them. That's one of the things we're looking at. In the region, folks, we cover Latin America. We come into the Caribbean. So what we're tracking, the World Health Organization says that Belize is malaria-free. You know, when I was in Mali recently, we saw a lot of signage advising the miners, you know, to get tested and take the medication and all that to prevent malaria. You all should listen. You got family and friends who are miners. Tell them, listen, malaria is real. Malaria is real. The World Health Organization, Secretary General Tedros Ghebreyesus, he certified Belize, they certified Belize as being malaria-free. Kudos to them on that front. Kudos to them on that front. You know, this tropical storm, Brett, they're telling us now it doesn't have the capacity to become a hurricane. You know, we saw Jamaica dodge the bullet recently, and now they're telling us that the Dominicans are in the path of tropical storm Brett. Again, they're telling us it doesn't have the potential to become a hurricane anymore. But still, precautions are being taken. And I see a number of persons. I think they said school is out in Dominica for the day. They locked down and bracing against the worst. Tropical storm Brett. That's one of the things we're looking at. And as we come closer to home, folks, in Trinidad, they got some books that have hit the shelf. You know, they carry a LGBTQ message. And the government there is saying that, you know, there's no plan to push LGBTQ issues, to push that agenda in the school system there. There was a whole furore recently as those books hit newsstands in Trinidad. You know, the readership is young people, adolescents, and so on. And so people have expressed a lot of concern, but the authorities coming out and saying that they have no intention as an administration there in Trinidad to push this agenda in the school system. That's part of what we're following, folks, in Trinidad. And as we circle back closer to home, this is what we're following. The CCJ is sitting here. The CCJ is sitting in Guyana. I think there are 2 sittings, itinerant sittings, they call them. And there's a second such. I was a law student the first time that they came. Right. Too busy now to stop by. Would love to. But then you guys won't get the credible and valid information that you all rely on so much at this end. Right. So they are here. I hope they're picking up the papers and reading the nonsense, because this might be till by them. The Daral alleged rape issue might be till by the CCJ. So I hope they're picking up the papers and going through that. Good hope. Secondary school finally open. Finally open. You know, they got a lot of high hopes. I saw Irfan Ali saying that, let me make sure I get it right, that we want a holistic education system. There's a lot of talks, you know. There's a lot of talks. We want this is the commissioning of the Good Hope Secondary School. We want a holistic education system. Right? There's a difference between the preaching and the practice. Right? They had the report, for instance, the UN report on the dormitories in this country. They had the report of the fire service specific to that Mahdia dormitory. That UN report mentioned that dormitory as well. No action was taken. So when we can have this holistic approach to education, when are we going to do it? Right? When are we going to do it? So that's some of what we're following, folks, at that end. Congrats to the kids who got more space and so on, because the school system overcrowded right now. That much they have admitted to. Overcrowded. Again, they want to shift your attention off damn lots of other things. Your boy brought out 700 small business owners to receive grants. You're going to take the money your alone. Go and take the money. You got a small business, you sign up, whatever the process. Go after it. It's your money. It's your money. Money got for make. But understand, they're trying with distraction too. They're trying with distraction too. Police officers are being charged for larceny. It's like an oxymoron. You don't expect those things to be in the same sentence. But that's what happened recently. 2 police officers charged with larceny and fraud. You understand why there's a very, very low trust level in this country? You understand why? Larceny and fraud. Police. Yeah. Believe it or not, that is the kind of country we're building. But we want it. We don't want it. Let me hand it back. Let's hand it back. Then people trying to traffic you. Venezuelan woman charged with 9 more counts already locked up. 9 more counts of human trafficking. We understand what's happening to Venezuela. And we've been hospitable as a people and gracious. Said, you got some trouble? Come and take a little space by us for a little while. But she want more than that. She trafficking. You got to be real bad. Real bad like that. You won't say, come and tuck it and anchor down from the storm. She trafficking, brothel running and all manner of things. All manner of things. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Boat captain missing in Mazaruni, stabbing in Mazaruni. Where Robeson? Where Robeson? People act with impunity because they believe that the enforcement arm of the state is weak. The time the whole pack of them there walking around foot to foot behind Apron Alley. Go and do the police work, man. Go and do some police work. So, watching that. Go and do some police work. Boat captain missing in the Mazaruni. We talk about it all the time. If you've been ardent listeners and watchers of our programs, the carnage, that's the assault on our women and girls, the carnage on our roads and our waterways. Those are the other pandemics we got to fight with the same vista and gusto. We fight other things. The carnage on our, this was the 3rd boating accident we saw. We told you last evening the man the fish out in the Mara River. Not security personnel. Now another boat captain. This was a 3rd one like for the week. And the road accidents continue as well. I'm only sorry we don't have enough time to dedicate to them, because I know you guys want to rush off too. So that is one of the other things that we're looking at. One of the other things that we're looking at, one of the other things that we are covering, folks. Every day, we did say when we started, never a dull moment. It's something in the 592. Always something in the 592. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. So those are just a couple of things, additional things we're following, and we think you ought to know about, folks. That's going to do it for us at this end. Until our next broadcast, ensure, good folks, ensure. You share the live, you smash that emoji button, and then we go down the road, folks. Let's go down the road. Folks, we encourage you to partner with us as well, so we can do more of this. We got quite a backlog of expenses we want to clear up. And as I said, you all boys got a body coming up at the end of the month on the 30th. Yeah, on the 30th, another birthday. Looking forward to it. I don't shy with getting older. Looking forward to it. It's when you're big and you're stupid, like some of them boys, that you got worried about. All right. That's what you got to worry about. And the happy birthdays are nice. But I'd love to stick around for another 3 years, perhaps. Another 3 years, bringing you guys valid and credible information. We're closing it on 3 November 13th or 14th. It's going to be 3 years since we've been on air, bringing you guys valid, credible information. And you know, what you see is where you get. We can get split personalities, and some of them issues that them boys got. Where you see is where you get. I saw something circulating about some screenshots. You know, y'all got a lot of time on your hand. Y'all got a lot of time on your hand. Come again. Come again with that one. Come again. We'll come again with that one. That's going to do it for us at this end, folks. That's going to do it for us at this end. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe until our next broadcast, good folks. Until our next broadcast. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. And thank you for your generosity.